Alright, so I'm sure you guys have heard what happened with the Celtics after the game or whatever. With Smart in the locker room. And I see these people, they're talking about it and they're saying, oh, Celtics are the cancer and, Kyrie wasn't the problem and all this just bullshit. And, let's face facts here. The Celtics down the stretch played like absolute shit. The third quarter, it looked like they didn't even belong on the same court as the, I almost said Milwaukee Bucks, Miami Heat. Their just effort as a whole group was just terrible. I think a combination with them just being gassed, I think the zone has really stumped them. I think going against Miami zone has really, really stumped them. Toronto's is a little different. Miami's is tough. Miami's is really tough because they have guys like Crowder, guys like Iguodala, guys like Butler, those wings that can really defend. And that makes it just almost impossible for the Celtics to have success against the zone. It is amazing what Miami's done. And honestly, some of this, I do have to put on Brad Stevens a little bit. I don't think he deserves a lot of blame, but a little bit of this, you gotta start asking yourselves, alright, you're putting these guys out here. Kemba had a good start, but he couldn't really do anything down the stretch. Kemba's just he was getting embarrassed the other game. And then Tatum, he can't do much. Jalen wasn't doing much. Um, you know, smart. Tice it's just flat, man. It's just flat. And the Celtics really found success in the first half in total, from their defense, dude. They were getting out in transition, and Kemba was going at their defense when they weren't set, and they were finding success like that. But the Celtics in the third quarter came out, and they were just so flat. And the pick and roll game with Bam, it just destroyed us in the third quarter. And some of that, I'm like, Brad, you clearly see that Cantor and Tice are getting fucked up by Bam Adebayo. You're gonna have to. I would have put in Rob Williams. Obviously, he doesn't have the IQ that those two guys have, but in reality, Bam Adebayo was destroying us in the third quarter. I don't remember exactly what he ended up with. He had at least 15 points in the third quarter, and I felt as if early when that started happening, Robert Williams hadn't played a minute. I think you have fresh legs with him. I think you put him in the game. Brad didn't, and I respect whatever he's doing, man. I mean, he's Brad Stevens. I'm not gonna act like I know more than him, but that's just what I would have done. And then down the stretch, the Celtics just look gassed. They just look so gassed. And then you have these sloppy plays. Tatum just, I don't know. Tatum, it's gonna come with maturity. But a lot of times he just looks out of control, or he makes these passes, just these weak passes that either get picked off. Kemba's a great passer. I mean, both are great passers, but Kemba, I think, is more of a result of his size that he makes some bad passes because he gets doubled. You got guys coming at him from everywhere. There's not much he can do, dude. He's 6 foot, you know. So the Celtics played like absolute ass. Absolute ass. As a Celtics fan, I was utterly embarrassed for them. Utterly embarrassed to be a Celtics fan. I mean, they had a 17-point lead. They just blew it. Totally blew it. Down the stretch, I was watching the game, and Kemba would hit a big three, and I'd get hype, and there'd only be a 3-point game. But in the back of my mind, dude, I just knew we weren't gonna pull it out, and it was tough to watch, man, because I always tell you guys, I'm gonna be honest, and it was this was probably the first time in the playoffs so far that I've just looked and I've just thought there's no way we should have won that game. We just didn't deserve it. Every game against 76ers, we deserve to win. And then almost every fucking game against the Raptors, we deserve to win. Especially game 3 when OG hit that shot. Oh my god, dude. We should have won that game. Should have been 3-0. Should have swapped them. But here we are. Miami Heat should have won game 1. And now game 2. Oh man. It was tough to watch. It was real tough to watch because I don't think they should have won. I mean, realistically, with the 17-point lead, I was like, dude, we're fucked. Then we blew it. Going to the fourth quarter, we were down. And I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe since we're down, And then they made a few runs, but just to feel the fourth quarter, just with everything that was going on, I just had a feeling that they weren't gonna win. And to think that I was watching this team, and it almost looked like some of these guys were just giving up. It almost looked like they were gassed, or they just didn't have the willpower. So when I watch that, and I try to stay as objective as possible, and then I hear the reports about Smart in the locker room, that is a very good thing. Smart yelling at people, throwing things around, guys just screaming at each other, that is what needs to happen, in all honesty. And some people that don't know sports, people that don't know how men work, people that, young kids, they wouldn't understand it. But I've been in, obviously not NBA locker rooms, I've been in, on sports teams in which this needs to be done. We've had arguments on the court, in the locker room at halftime, and this is the best way to galvanize the troops. Smart doing this shows me, once again, that Smart is our leader. Kemba, he's more of a reserve guy. Smiley, he's not going to do it. Tatum, he wouldn't do it. Jaylen Brown, maybe a little bit. Tice obviously wouldn't do it. You need someone like Marcus Smart on this team to do it. Obviously, Brad Stevens, he just looked absolutely disgusted with the team after the third quarter. And you can't blame him. He just said, we're not playing hard. Basically, he said, we're not trying. And they weren't. And that's why when you hear a story like this, it's a good thing. It's a very good thing that Smart did this. And then that's why it pisses me off when you see people on the internet who say, wow, Kyrie wasn't the cancer. Like, they owe Kyrie an apology. Like, dude, oh my god. If you only knew, bro. Like, the problem with Kyrie is that Kyrie would talk shit about his teammates in a negative way, and it would result being in a negative. Like, it wouldn't help them. It doesn't galvanize anyone. It's just drama. Marcus Smart is laying down the absolute facts to whoever he may have beef, or not beef. It's not beef. It's he wants the best out of his teammates, and if he feels as if they weren't giving their best, he's gonna let them know. And I'll tell you 1,000% that it's gonna result in a positive result. Celtics will become closer after this. Celtics are gonna be more galvanized after this. Dude, they just fell down 2-0 to the Heat. They fucking swept the first round, should have swept the second round, and they're down 2-0 to the Heat. They needed something like this. And if you are one of those people that doesn't understand it, or thinks it's a cancer, or thinks it's bad, or thinks the Celtics are fucked, trust me, dude. Trust me. When in doubt, when in times of sadness and defeat, you need a leader that is able to tell you what you need to hear. This isn't pussy shit. This isn't everyone gets the medals. This isn't handouts. This isn't participation awards. This is NBA playoff basketball with men. To be inside that locker room, I don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like. But I guarantee, and I already saw the Enes Kanter tweet, he said, some bullshit's being thrown around. I'm closer with these guys. These guys are my family. This team is a family. And to hear them fighting resembles them fighting like brothers. And I'll tell you what, I have two brothers, and I used to fight with them all the time. And looking back, especially over something like this, basketball, we used to fight all the time. The only reasons we were fighting is because we wanted more out of ourselves or more out of each other, whether we're on the same team or going against each other. And it's all about motivation, it's all about effort, and that's what the Celtics need, is motivation and effort. And I'll tell you what, Marcus Smart just gave it to them. Hopefully just gave it to them.